What's going on, folks? Good morning. Taking a look this morning at Casper. We'll take a look at XRP, maybe a quick look at Bitcoin, see what's going on as the markets appear to be finding their bottoms and moving higher as they should, according to history and market sentiment. So we'll take a look at a couple areas of interest, a couple areas of potential resistance, overhead, and below support for Casper, and probably mention a area on XRP as well. So we had mentioned before the market made it down to this level, this 224 down here, this 2 cent level. We said keep your eyes out if the price continues lower. Now this is prior to the prior to the 19th of June. The market could get down to there and potentially find support and bounce. So far, we've done that. So that is good to see. That is normal to see on these price areas. You'll see the market move towards these areas and have some kind of reaction. So we're moving up to the upside, just as we expect, and as the market is extremely oversold. 4.5% we are up today. It's the 24th of June, early in the morning on the East Coast. So below the market, we have a 224 area. Moving on up, we have an area right up here at this 3 cent, this 334 area. You can see it correlates with this basing structure here. The market actually found support there for probably a couple weeks, it looks like, or maybe longer. And then eventually we broke through that level, moving down to that lower 224. But anyways, right up here at this 334 is an area that I mentioned that the price will probably make its way up to sooner rather than later. Now, let me jump over real quick to the XRP chart, and I'll show you some similarities. So we'll go over to XRP, get rid of this. So if you look at XRP real quick, XRP, similar looking pattern, found a bottom. I don't even know where the bottom was here for XRP. It was 30. Let's see, the low was 28 cents. But fast forward, we had a nice breakout, and we're right up to the lows of this basing structure right here. So basically finding a little bit of overhead resistance right at that 37 cent level, which is basically all of these, which was an old floor of support. So if we go back to Casper, and keep this whole area right in here and print it in your mind for just a second. Now if we go over to Casper, you can see that if Casper moved up similar to XRP, would put it right at this 334 area we're talking about. And it would look very similar to XRP, and it would also be bumping its head right at this old floor, but now ceiling of resistance. So that would get us right to our target we're looking for at 334. So however you can use that, maybe you can just keep an eye on it for entertainment purposes. Maybe you lock in some of your profits that you accumulated down here at the 224, and you're going to ride it up to that 334. That would give you basically a 48% return on that trade. So take that for what it's worth. So 334 is an area I do believe will obviously move much higher than that, but in the short term, that's an area that the price should find a little bit of struggle before moving higher. Moving on up from there, we have an area right up here at 509, and that is even quite a bit higher than where we're at today. But what you'll see is that 509 area over in here was an area of support. The price basically touched right down to it, the low 509, and then bounced super strong. So you'll see the price get to these levels and have strong reactions. Just like we found the bottom down in here, and we bounced very strong. You can see it over in here. We hit that level and bounced very strong. So 509 is another important area. We got a ways to go. All depends on how strong they want to push these markets up. We could see a blast through the 334, getting us back up into here, getting us up to that 509. We could see a blast from where we're at right now, right to that 334. Over the last night, I was doing some other stuff on the computer, not looking at the charts. Click back to XRP, and all of a sudden, it's up over 10% in a matter of minutes. So these markets are wild. They're very oversold. So super strong, bullish action to the upside could be expected at any time, and will not be surprised to see that. So 224, 334, 509, three areas above the market that if this at some point we will get back up there. Moving on up above 509. Let's see, we have an area right here at 727, 7 cents is an area of importance. You can see there was a lot of trading up in here. You can see that this whole area in here in March and April of this year found support at that 7.2 area and then eventually broke through it. Over in here, look at this. The market pulled right back to that area, bounced, and then eventually below, traded within this range. And then over here, look at this great wick we had right here on, it looks like that's the 26th of September in 2021, right down to that area and bounced strong, broke through it over here in August of 21. So 727, that would be 7 cents, is an area of importance as we move higher here. Of course, we don't know when these areas will be hit, but they are important areas to keep on, to keep in mind anyways. Moving on above that, 12.86, 12 cent, another area of importance. You can see all of the trading we had around here back in the 21 time frame for multiple months, finding some resistance at this 12.86 area in January of 22, and then just stair-stepping its way down. So 224, 334, 509, 727, 1286, and then we have the real special one up here at 30.88. That's the 30 cent area, way up in here, and this area brings us all the way back to May of 21. So we are over a year ago now. This is an area of importance that we got from Casper from over a year ago, but it still does play a role, especially as the price moves higher. Of course, if the price moves higher, it doesn't do much if we're trading lower, but as we move higher, perhaps in the weeks or months or years ahead, these areas become more and more important. So that's why I mentioned keep them in mind, keep them on your chart. So, yep, 30 cents. Let me zoom in a bit here. And you can see how the Casper market reacted right around this 30 cent level, going back a little bit longer than a year ago. So that is the upper areas for the Casper chart that I have anyways in mind, and I have been watching. I was watching this 224 area like a hawk, and was able to get into some more of a position down in that area. Not exactly at the bottom, but pretty close. Of course, if we move higher, slight price differences in the position don't matter too much. So 224, 334, 509, 727, 12 cents. That would be 1286. And then above the market, we have 3088. So those are all areas I'm watching. So there is other areas in between these. It starts to create a little bit too much noise. So I just stuck with these, and there probably is some higher areas as well. But unless we see some very, very, very strong moves in a very short amount of time, I don't think those are necessary to post on the charts. But yes, there's definitely areas up in the multi-dollar range. But right now, we're moving up 4.5%. Let's take a look. Looks like XRP finding a little bit of resistance as it should. I'm sure XRP has a important level right here. Just bumping its head a little bit on an old area of support. Now an area, a ceiling of resistance. But even if we get a break above this high for Casper, which would be basically right where we're at now. I mean, I guess this wick has some importance, but basically a break from right. If we break right from where we're at right now, it's a straight shot right to that 334 area. We have next in line on our chart. So let's see what happens here.